We interrupt your Sunday school lesson for this breaking news. I'm Scoop the News with WFBC Cornerstone Edition with your breaking news headlines. With all the corona sweeping the nation, we continue to worship here at First Baptist Church at home on Facebook Live. And you can also see us on YouTube and also the church app. So please tune in every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. on your Facebook, YouTube, or the church app. Also, here at Cornerstone, we continue to do our Sunday school lessons online. We post these on our Facebook Cornerstone page as well as on YouTube. So please take the time to watch these lessons and post your questions or comments on our Facebook page. Remember, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., we do a 40-minute Zoom chat, praise, and prayer time for our Sunday school class. So we miss seeing you, so please join in, please try, and we have a good time. That's all the news for today. I'm Scoop the News for WFBC, where it's all Jesus, all the time. Now back to your Sunday school lesson. Hey guys, this is Lee here, filling in for Captain Jess. Jess is going to take a week off from teaching, and he's going to pick up next week with our study on Daniel. So today we're going to talk about eagles and the traits of eagles and how it pertains to our Christian walk. Of course, the verse for today is Isaiah 40:31, and it goes a little bit like this. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They shall soar with wings like eagle. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Now, in the midst of all this corona scare, I'm sure everyone has kind of had some doubts and fear and lost a little hope. And hopefully today's short lesson will renew some of that we really are eagles in the Lord's Word. There's two key words in this verse, and they are, we will soar with wings like eagles. Now, the original King James Version uses the word as eagles. Now, I believe God is trying to tell us something here. He's comparing us, all of us, to eagles in this particular verse. Now, this really jumps out off the page at me. I hope it does you too. If you did a study on eagles and their personality traits, you'd see they were personality traits that were inherent in the eagle that God wanted us to have with Him. After finding out exactly what personality traits eagles do have, you come to the conclusion that God was definitely trying to convey some additional knowledge to all of us as what our additional qualities He would like all of us to have worked into our personalities. Now, the other thing you noticed is that there are a lot of eagle pictures and a lot of eagle statues in many of the Christian bookstores, with all of them coming off around this same verse that we just read. Again, I believe that God is trying to draw all of us into this specific verse so that we can find out exactly what He is trying to tell us with the revelation that is contained in it. I believe this analogy is extremely powerful, and it has a profound analogy here, and it fully applies to each and every Christian. Now, the basic gist that we're talking about here is the first thing you need to know about eagles so you can fully understand the basic gist that we're talking about is exactly how they're able to fly, with most of it being on how they are able to soar without actually flapping their wings. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen videos in the documentaries on eagles being caught on videos soaring high and up in the sky without actually flapping their wings at all. Their wings were spread straight out, and they were literally soaring with perfect ease on the wind currents. Now, eagles are born with big and heavy wings. And part of their survival mechanism they are born with is they have to learn how to fly without actually flapping their big wings. They have to learn how to do this in order to conserve energy. Eagles can literally die if they expend too much energy flapping their wings during flight, as versus soaring without flapping their wings. Now, as a result, what eagles have to learn to do very early on in order to be able to soar without flapping their wings is to wait for what we call wind thermals to come up upon them. Now, wind thermal is a big gust of wind that will rise up from the atmosphere. Sometimes eagles will remain perched for days before they can catch a good, strong wind thermal, where they can then launch onto it, combine a mixture of flying and soaring on that strong wind thermal to get them where they want to go. Now, here's the basic gist of this whole analogy. Lock this into your memory banks here, as God has given us a very powerful analogy here on how eagles basically fly and soar on these wind thermals. Now, let me break it down for you really simple. We're the eagle. The wings of the eagle represent our faith and our belief in God. And the wind thermals the eagles fly on represent the Holy Spirit. Now I want to tell you a story about some turkeys. One day these turkeys were just doing what turkeys do, is they were just scratching around in the dirt, and they were just looking down and, not much good outlook on life. And they were talking to each other about how dusty and drab and boring their life was. And all of a sudden, one of the turkeys looked up and they said, "Look, do you see what I see?" And all the turkeys around them said, "What? What do you see?" And they said, "Look, there's an eagle. Do you see what he's doing? That eagle is soaring. He's flying up there without any effort at all. He looks like he is on the king of the world. And we're stuck down here in this dirt, and all we got to do is walk around in dirt all day long, scratching and pecking, and just, our life is just so dry and dull. Why can't we be like an eagle?" So you know what they did? They formed a committee. Now this committee got together and they decided they would gather all the turkeys from all around, and they would bring them into this one great big room, and they would all learn about flying. They wanted to soar like an eagle. Now they brought in professional speakers, some of the best aeronautical scientists that you could ever think of. Pilots, astronauts, NASA came in. They did everything they could do to learn about flying. They studied the book on flying. They learned about lift and drag. And they just studied and they studied and they studied. They even went out to the airport and watched the planes take off and land. Now they were so excited about all that they had learned. So upon their graduation, you know what they did? They walked up a hill, and they all stood on the edge of the hill, and one by one, they jumped off. Now, do you know what happened? No! For the first time in their life, they had soared like an eagle. They were up there, they were flying, they were soaring, they were doing loop-de-loops. Man, they were flying like they didn't have a care in the world. They flew like they knew what they were doing. They were soaring like an eagle. Man, they landed and they were patting each other on the back. They were saying, look what I did. Did you see me do that loop-de-loop up there? Man, that was outstanding, wasn't it? Did you see that landing I did? It was smooth. Woo, wasn't I good? Wasn't I good? Didn't I do good? Didn't I do good? For the first time in our lives, us turkeys soared like an eagle. And boy, they were proud of themselves. They were so happy, so joyful. And they all gathered round as the last day of their classes were going on and graduation was occurring. And they all were just so happy that they had soared like an eagle. So they all shook hands and sang their little song of goodbyes. And then you know what they did? They all walked home. So the choice is ours. God's already set it up for us. You can be a turkey and you can just be miserable in the dust all the time, or you can soar like an eagle. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, and we hope to see you soon. Have a good day.